energy management. An integrated approach in the form of Pakistan Mashru LNG project was first planned out, one in which the LNG importer was also supposed to be the supplier. International private parties were invited to submit their bids for setting up a dedicated terminal. Response was positive, and it seemed for a while that a major headway would be made. However, before LNG could sail into the country, the project was struck down by the judiciary after its transparency was questioned. By mid-2010s, the natural gas situation was getting worse. The country's constrained demand for natural gas had reached 6 billion cubic feet per day, while the local gas production hovered around 4 billion cubic feet per day. When the current government was took charge in 2013, the country's energy supply issues were worse than ever. Long queues on CNG stations, gas-fired industries going out of business, power outages, and the resulting growing public angst were the headline news. Something had to be done, and done fast.
A quick solution for Pakistan need demand which was increasing at a very high speed, where as 86 billion cubic feet of gas requirement had become a demand for the country. The numbers could only see few options, and the only option which the government could analyze was bringing in LNG. LNG is something new. It's very much there for many nations which are totally dependent on energy volumes globally.
So where did the government succeed where others failed? To bring in LNG into the country, the government opted for an unbundled approach, whereby the LNG regasification terminal was separated from LNG procurement. A multi-pronged strategy was followed by the government that included a fast-track import of LNG, installation of LNG terminals, and laying of the dedicated gas transmission pipeline. It is clear that this time, Pakistan's policymakers meant business. So why did the buck stop at LNG? LNG, at the end of the day, is a natural gas, but one that has been converted to liquid form for ease of storage or transport. LNG, as compared to liquid fuels, provides substantially greater efficiency, lower maintenance costs, ease of transportation, and no pilferage or adulteration issues. LNG import to Pakistan was seen as crucial because it would greatly reduce the production costs of thermal power by replacing furnace oil and will improve the efficiency of the thermal power generation plants. The immediate challenge before the government and public and private sector companies was not just to import LNG into the country, but also to build an enduring LNG infrastructure. In April 2014, SSGC and LNG Terminal Pakistan Limited inked an LNG services agreement that included the construction of Pakistan's first LNG import terminal at Karachi's Port Qasim by ETPL. The LNG terminal, built in a world record time of 335 days, has the capacity for regasification of up to 600 MMCFD. A virtual gas field was taking shape, and it was called LNG. The dream was finally turning into a reality. And then there were skeptics who kept on questioning the viability of the project itself, trying their best to find spatter in the works. Undeterred the stakeholders involved in this major development say alone. March 26, 2015 marked a new dawn for Pakistan's economy. Exquisite, a Belgian flagged floating, storage, regasification unit, or FSRU ship sailed from Qatar's Ras Laffan port into the shores of Port Qasim, carrying 1,48,517 cubic meters of LNG cargo. The first ever LNG cargo had arrived. Pakistan was now a member of the exclusive LNG club, having joined the ranks of the 70-plus LNG importing nations of the world. To effectively utilize the LNG terminal's capacity to transmit 600 MMCFD RLNG to the consumption node, an elaborate infrastructure needed to be set in place. In this regard, in June 2014, the company's team of engineers, technicians, and workers started working on the biggest infrastructure development project ever undertaken in SSGC's history. Considering their vast magnitude, the projects were divided into two parts, RLNG-1 and RLNG-2. RLNG-1 was undertaken for supplying 400 MMCFD imported RLNG to SNGPL and through swap arrangement and indigenous gas from SNGPL. The project involved building a couple of additional loop lines, including a 42-inch diameter, 17 kilometers pipeline from SSGC's custody transfer station in Port Qasim to SMS pipeline in Karachi, and a 42-inch diameter, 4-kilometer line from RS Nara to Sabah in District Head, the starting point of SNGPL's pipeline system. The LNG project was well and truly on the road. It was not long before the LNG terminal became a major hub of activity engaged in receiving LNG and regasifying it in floating storage regasification unit, or FSRU. The FSRU, twice the size of a football field, has a storage capacity of 150,000 cubic meters and has an onboard plant to turn super chilled liquid methane into gas. On the other hand, SNGPL played its vital role in bringing LNG to its customers. The company that caters to its 5.3 million customers in Punjab and Bengal. The company that caters to its 5.3 million customers in Punjab and Bengal embarked on a massive augmentation of its system by laying an 862-kilometer pipeline with 16 to 42-inch diameter from Sabah, the starting point of its system all the way to Lahore and Sheikhupura. Through RLNG-1 arrangement, the loop lines were placed within a matter of months by SSGC. However, the missing ingredients were the turbine compressors required in order to boost gas pressure while it flowed through the lines. Procuring these compressors through a tender process would have been a costly and time-consuming process and would have affected the capability of swapping indigenous gas with RLNG from SNGPL. That was when the SSGC project teams came up with an ingenious idea of relocating from the company's pilot facility two pilot compressors dating back to 30 years ago and bring them all the way to large compressor station. These compressors help achieve the desired delivery pressure of 1,115 pounds per square inch made at solid. The construction of loop lines along with the overhauling of idle compressors resulted in the injection of RLNG to the system, which in turn contributed to an improved gas supply situation in the north. CNG stations started opening up, and gas supply to power and fertilizer sectors too improved. Winters too were less excruciating than in the past. Still, in order to bridge the demand-supply gap and to effectively utilize the full capacity of the terminal, the dedicated infrastructure needed to be put in place that would help transmit 600 MMCFD RLNG to the power. A dedicated infrastructure needed to be put in place that would help transmit 600 MMCFD RLNG to the power, fertilizer, and CNG sectors in the northern part of the country. To help transmit this huge quantum of energy, in 2015, the LNG trail that began from the CDS in Port Cossin continued with the second phase of the project, or RLNG2, for the eventual supply of 600 MMCFD LNG, laying down a dedicated 42% meter it was raised against time as the government had set before SSGC a very stiff target of completing work on the dedicated RLNG line in less than 2 years. Planning had to be the key to the eventual success. Scheduling of tasks was the key, and execution had to be top-notch and in compliance with international standards. It required more than just sincerity towards a job to pull it off. The project required excessive outsourcing and tendering, perhaps more than in any time during SSGC's history. Local and foreign vendors only participated in the bidding processes, and the list of items to be procured was huge. The concerned team successfully negotiated each contract with the successful payment on ensuring timely delivery of materials and equipment. It was never a smooth sailing. The biggest challenge after tendering was the actual shipment of items right from the port to the designated porting factories and then to the dump sites of actual construction jobs. The clause was incorporated in the tender documents that clearly stated that any delay in transporting the shipment to the dump sites would mean that transporters would have to pay heavy demurrage costs. To avoid the demurrage, the transporter had to arrange a maximum number of trucks. The shipment of pipes from the port to the final destination was proving an exercise in project management, requiring exceptional care in handling the consignments. Every day, more than 100 trucks laden with bare pipes would leave the Karachi Port Trust dockyard after being loaded into the trucks. To avoid daytime traffic, trucks would leave the port by 12 at night so as to reach the destination at the break of dawn. In keeping with the company's HSE rules, a maximum of 3 bare pipes were placed on each truck. The procured items were inspected at both the port of the country of origin as well SSGC and the contractors started laying down the 342-kilometer dedicated road. The pipeline construction job was a major challenge, more so since the construction teams had to travel through diverse terrains including swamp, semi-arid zone, agricultural lands, and river crossings. Considering the diverse initial 8-segment offering, the project was divided into 4 segments or sub-projects on the basis of convenient landmarks, terrains, logistics, and waypoints available along the route. In the generally rocky segment 1, stretching from SMS Parkway in Karachi to HK Creek, Jamshoro, a 129-kilometer transmission pipeline is laid. In segment 2, from Hyderabad to Nawabshah, HK2, and comprising of generally agricultural land, a 131-kilometer pipeline was laid, while in segment 3, stretching from Nawabshah to Dhaka, which was dominated by deserts, 82-kilometer pipeline was laid.
इसकी आवाज़ कहाँ से बढ़ेगी आवाज़ थोड़ी कम आ रही है
Topographical diversity of the project offered meant that it was yet another pipeline laying task.
क्या मैं गैस पर
One
आपने
of the most tedious yet rewarding tasks
एलपीजी का
construction
कहीं भी
process
लगवाना चाहो
use of the state-of-the-art horizontal
तलूनी में
directional
या
drilling technology that effectively became segment 4. For the first time in the company's history, engineers and riggers of China Petroleum Bureau with requisite local support bored through a 2-kilometer riverbed at the site of the River Indus crossing by using a surface-launched drilling rig. In the first phase, the team drilled a pilot hole on the designed path, and in the second stage, called the reaming, the hole was enlarged by passing a larger cutting tool known as a back reamer. The reamer's diameter depends on the size of the pipe to be pulled back through the bore hole. The driller increased the diameter according to the outer diameter or the conduit, and to achieve optimal production, everything would go well till the reamer malfunctioned, leaving the pipe to drown. The work came to a grinding halt, but only momentarily. But since a show had to go on, a solution needed to be found.
The river Indus is a very unique terrain inside. I mean, if we go deep down 100 feet below riverbed, it gives us surprises upon surprises. 2 of our embers were badly stuck into those terrain. And with the expertise of Chinese engineers of SSGC, we finally managed to remove those renders which were stuck in those terrains.
Apart from the topographical diversity, the teams involved in the welding and coating jobs had to brave harsh weather conditions, sometimes reaching a blistering 50 degrees centigrade. Yet, that did not deter them from going ahead with the job.
Challenges there were few, but one of the most was the extreme weather, both in winter and summer. In summer it was almost 50 degrees centigrade, right open in the desert, because of 80-kilometer portion of this pipeline was in desert from Nara to Sawan, and that portion is almost a desert. Then in the winter there was a wind blowing with a very low temperature, and with the wind blowing it was very difficult to work.
Perhaps the most agonizing obstacle that the company faced during the entire duration of the construction process was in the area of land acquisition that repeatedly halted the construction work. The pipeline crossed through numerous lands owned by government authorities, landowners, and farmers, and the team faced a major challenge of acquiring land from individuals and getting permissions from respective authorities.
Land issues are very less and various places. With the help of the land ministry, we make land irrigation and we occupy land with
Painstaking yet effective negotiations helped the project teams see off these hurdles. The sleepy countryside of Dor, some 27 kilometers away from Nawabshah, is home to HQ2 Dor, one of the nerve centers of the company's transmission network. Dor became the project's center point. More than 800 engineers and workers from SSGC, SAF International, and Solar made HQ2 Dor their base camp for the entire duration of the project. The tasks assigned to them perhaps were the project's most intricate and backbreaking jobs requiring exceptional prowess, especially when it came to carrying a multitude of installation works and handling state-of-the-art machineries and equipment.
There were lots of challenges during the execution of this project. The biggest one would be the logistics, supply, design, and especially the execution phase, where we are facing a very tough timeline and we are fighting against time.
These valiant men remained involved for more than a year in civil and installation works of 6 compressors shipped from the USA to Solar in order to meet the SNGPL's demand of 1,115 PSIG pressure at Saban and to resolve the issue of pressure drop during flow of gas from Karachi to Nawabshah. Each of these compressors had a volume of 200 MNCFD each, with a total compression power of 30,000 HP. The transportation, installation, and commissioning of the compressors was in itself a massive project in its own right. Consignments consisted of 6 40-feet-tall containers of compressors, each weighing 35 tons. Transporting them all the way from Port Qasim, Karachi to HQ2 Dor was always going to be quite a job. That was worked out, however, by carrying them on a special hydraulic detachable low-bed multi-axle trailers that guaranteed equal distribution of load and ensured good control on high speed. Installation of compressors proved to be a high-precision job entailing exhaustive civil work and accurate placement on nuts and bolts. All the teams worked 24/7 on shift roster to ensure timely installation and commissioning of the compressors.
SSGC has been actually an amazing customer. They're very knowledgeable. The operations people that I've worked with and talked to understand the technical aspects of this type of equipment, the most modern that we can provide at this point in time. As far as I know, we've had no injuries on site today. I cannot give enough thanks to SAS and the SSGC for all their support.
Given a very tight schedule, the completion of the RLNG project within this short period of time is a major accomplishment.
It's not just one agreement in Lahore, but entire SSGC. Everybody is in customers on the phone, procurement, everybody contributed to this project as a team, and that's why it's successful.
It did not matter if one was from SSGC or from an outsourced firm. Teams worked around the clock, many of them away from their families for months, with a tremendous sense of ownership.
Out of the project, this project has been become due to the state timeline of the project. This became a reality due to the excellent teamwork of the process. Without the requirement,
Many project teams that were not used to the project as huge as this had become, by the end of it all, a high-precision unit.
I think the and did a marvelous job in a very short time. Thank a lot of issues, including right of way, other issues, and the cooperation of provincial and county government in the diagram related to those projects.
On January 27, 2017, a new era of sustainability was unveiled when SSGC started swapping 600 mmCFD gas. When SSGC started swapping 600 mmCFD gas from the FSRU in Port Qasim, Karachi to the consumption nodes in Punjab. As a result, the RLNG consignments dramatically improved gas supplies to Punjab's power, fertilizer, and CNG sectors and helped bridge the demand-supply gap substantially. Struggling industries are seeing a major revival, and a dawn of macroeconomic stability is emerging in the country.
We saw a very thorough work with SSGC conducted. The teams, their MDs, their management, the people who had first-hand no knowledge of how we were dealing with this new volumes of selling LNG to different companies, how to incorporate buying LNG and putting it in their system and then further giving it to another service provider, which is SSGPL. A lot of work was done, a lot of time was spent, and alhamdulillah, that phase of augmentation and putting of the volumes in the pipeline system and sending it further to different parts of Pakistan was alhamdulillah completed, and we started resuming.
Which India, I think.
The 42-inch diameter pipeline is the first of its kind 42-inch diameter ever built in Pakistan. It's really commendable. And it's a step towards the large-scale gas infrastructure development for the country. We put Pakistan on the world map again, and volumes have come in and continuing to be designed, whereby you see already now interested in supplying to Pakistan because the volumes are going up and everything in Pakistan is established.
The 342-kilometer massive project has in fact opened LNG floodlights. It marks the continuation of Pakistan's government plans to encourage local and foreign investors to not just import LNG, but to build a network of related infrastructure in strategic locations. The second LNG terminal being established by Pakistan Gasport has started injecting another 600 mmCFD of regasification facility from the FSRU, and in the process has pushed Pakistan's LNG regasification capacity beyond 1.2 BCFD. In the meantime, SSGC and SNGPL have started planning out a new pipeline from Karachi to Lahore, which will add another 1.2 BCFD of LNG to meet the growing demand of domestic, commercial, industrial, power, and CNG sector. There is now a growing realization that LNG is the only viable solution to take Pakistan out of the energy conundrum. Game-changing projects that include CPEC, Karakol Power Project, and the LNG infrastructure development have made the world increasingly bullish about Pakistan. Consider this. PricewaterhouseCoopers recently predicted that Pakistan's economy could become the 15th largest in the world by 2015, based on its gross domestic product. The steely resolve of the current government, the Ministry of Energy, and other stakeholders, including PSO, SNGPL, LNG Terminal Private Limited, and SSGC, is quite apparent by the way they have silenced all the detractors who had given up hope of the success of the LNG projects.
Together, we are making history.
by taking Pakistan on the road to energy sustainability and economic growth.
By the look of things, better days are not just coming, they are here. Every morning with the break of dawn, one of the world's most common fossil fuels become an integral part of our existence. Natural gas, as we know, warms our homes, fuels our industries, powers our devices, and shapes our country's economy. This environment-friendly, non-renewable resource enriches our communities and gives us all a reason to feel blessed. Welcome to Sui Southern Gas Company. Pakistan's energy powerhouse, which since 1954 has been dedicated towards providing uninterrupted gas supply to more than 2.7 million domestic, commercial, and industrial customers.
Over 6 decades, SSGC has proved its mettle as country's frontline utility company with strong commitment to serving its customers. It follows good governance practices with an aim to serve even better in the days to come.
Vibrant public sector gas utility, SSGC operates a rich and ever-expanding network of transmission and distribution lines. The company has in place a robust corporate governance framework by virtue of which the board of directors ensure accountability, fairness, and transparency in the company's relationship with its stakeholders that includes customers, financiers, management, employees, government, and community. As a downstream company, SSGC purchases natural gas from 27 gas fields operated by local and multinational exploration and production companies. With a transmission network that spreads more than 3,600 kilometers and a distribution network stretching across nearly 44,000 kilometers, SSGC is committed towards supplying gas to more than 2.6 million domestic, 23,000 commercial, and 4,100 industrial customers in over 1,300 cities, towns, and villages of Sindh and Balochistan. The natural gas that ignites our burners every day passes through a complex yet organized transmission and distribution network. After due processing, gas flows into the infrastructure of transmission pipeline network comprising of compressor stations, pressure reduction stations, and metering stations located at gas delivery points. It is then distributed to all categories of customers through an equally rich distribution network. Every SSGC project, regardless of its size, is a veritable case study in world-class project management involving thorough planning, meticulous design engineering, and quality construction management. From the sandblasting process for smoothing rough edges of the pipelines to heavy-duty coating to enhance pipeline life, there is attention to detail in every stage. Our diligent workforce makes its way through intricate paths, tough terrains, and inclement weather conditions to create incredible engineering feats comparable to the best in the world. The company's northern and southern distribution divisions carry out a vital task of ensuring uninterrupted gas supply in their respective franchise locations. The company's unrelenting passion to excel has been evident in every commissioned project, be it the groundbreaking overhead pipelines in Karachi and Jamshoro, the Quetta-Zarghul pipeline, or the 42-inch diameter pipeline in Bin Qasim area of Karachi for distributing LNG to the end users. The constant pursuit of excellence transcends into other major components of the company's business. Over the years, SSGC has developed an instinctive approach of serving its customers on a 24/7 basis with speed, agility, and a reassuring smile. The company has an ever-growing fleet of well-equipped 1199 emergency vans for attending to its customers' calls. It operates more than 25 customer facilitation centers and has established state-of-the-art call centers in major cities of its franchise areas, all with the primary aim of serving its customers better. Bill recovery drives are run through dedicated teams on the ground and mass media campaigns to ensure that the customers settle their dues on time. The company also outsources bill printing facility that prints more than 650 pages per minute. The company has consistently been investing in cutting-edge state-of-the-art technology which has enhanced its operational efficiency to serve its customers better. At the same time, the company's IT department has been a vital resource known for delivering cost-effective strategic solutions that facilitates internal efficiency and help serve customers more skillfully. While the online SCADA system ensures effective gas control through real-point monitoring of delivery points so that any deviations with regards to gas supply can be corrected, the control room carries out gas measuring monitoring of consuming sectors. Accountability, integrity, transparency, and teamwork are pillars on which SSGC stands. Internal Audit Department adds gravity to effective control. Regulatory affairs protect stakeholders' interests by ensuring adherence to regulator-specified service standards, and Procurement Department focuses on all facets of tendering process in accordance with the PPRA rules. On the other hand, the Finance Department keeps a watchful eye on revenues, expenditures, and investments made. Best practices of corporate governance are made certain by adopting a set of processes and policies to let smart business sense. Objectivity and integrity take the center stage. SSGC has a long-standing HSE and QA obligation towards keeping its employees and customers safe while protecting the environment in which it operates. The Medical Services Department, on the other hand, besides providing basic medical facilities, goes a step further by raising awareness about chronic medical conditions. The company's Human Resources Department provides the organization with structure and ability to meet business needs by managing the company's most valuable resource, its human capital. The company has never shied away from attracting fresh blood into its ranks. SSGC is implementing a major leadership program whereby young graduates from tertiary level institutions of Pakistan are inducted in challenging corporate roles. The objective is to develop future business leaders who will have the acumen and wisdom to take the company forward. Through its gas training institutes in Karachi and Hyderabad, SSGC imparts soft and technical skills to its executives and staff to help them improve their intellectual capital by acting as an effective bridge between the management and labor unions. The HR department also ensures industrial peace. Through its corporate communication tools that include media relations, advertising, event management, digital media and publications, the company is able to effectively enhance its corporate image by projecting a factual organizational picture externally. We take our corporate social responsibility initiatives in the areas of education, health, environment, and community development projects quite seriously so as to benefit the communities around us. On CSR front, the company has moved one step ahead by recently introducing Hum Kadam a volunteering program that encourages its employees to participate in diverse community welfare initiatives. And in sports arena, SSGC's pool of talented sportsmen represent their company and country in local and international cricket, hockey, cycling, and football events. As the operators of the country's only meter manufacturing plant, SSGC has been effectively meeting the requirements of domestic and foreign customers as well as that of Sui Northern gas pipelines by producing G4 and G1.6 meters. The plant has also developed third-generation V3 meters which have anti-meter tampering features and the smart meter capability of electronic data collection and processing. The Made in Pakistan tag emblazoned on each meter that comes out from the plant's assembly line is an ultimate source of pride. Without challenges in its midst, tenacity of a great company cannot be truly measured. History is a living proof that SSGC has always excelled when the going got tough. Of late, bridging the widening demand-supply gap in natural gas dynamics has been a major challenge for SSGC, yet by choosing to diversify into various alternative fuels, the company is focused towards augmenting supplies. The company runs a fully integrated LPG company with a well-defined supply chain structure that ensures marketing and distribution of LPG across Pakistan. It is also installing synthetic natural gas or LPG air mix plants in those areas of Sindh and Balochistan which are far off from the distribution grid. Unaccounted for gas or line losses is a major menace that has over the years affected SSGC's financial bottom line and operational efficiency. SSGC has risen against the menace with an iron hand by taking practical measures such as creating business units in different cities for greater responsibility and control and persuasively cracking down on gas pilfering. A major cause of rising UFG. The Special Committee of Board of Directors on UFG assists the board in effective monitoring and control of UFG losses, making recommendations by reviewing statistical data. These efforts go hand in hand with internal and external activities such as anti-gas theft-related campaigns, regular articles, and team-based constructive state plays to motivate the employees to fight out the UFG menace. These measures will ultimately increase investors' confidence on SSGC.
SSGC is fully committed to support the government endeavors in bridging the current energy gap in the country. It is proud to be part of the historic energy import, which is a remarkable initiative that has already transformed a long-time dream to reality.
With an eye on a sustainable future in order to bridge the widening demand-supply gap, SSGC is facilitating the running of Pakistan's plan to ensure energy sustainability by importing regasified LNG through major infrastructure development. From the company's perspective, the RLNG project is of strategic importance. The company is currently focused towards developing an ambitious 42-inch-diameter, 374-kilometer long pipeline infrastructure from Karachi to Punjab to facilitate transmission of 1.2 BCFD gas from power sector in Punjab. We are of the firm belief that LNG import will be a game changer. The company is also determined to valiantly take on similar LNG projects and will continue to focus on rehabilitation projects across its franchise areas in order to replace aging network for controlling line losses. Such measures will reflect on strong financial bottom line, leading to increasing investors' confidence and ultimately maximizing the shareholders' value. In the future, SSGC will continue to turn challenges into opportunities for growth. This is because the vision that was defined in 1954 has now transformed into a burning passion to meet energy requirements, even if it requires taking roads less traveled. SSGC's first 60 years have been one brilliant saga of world-class engineering and a determined workforce willing to go the distance.
The best, however, is yet to come.
Why you look so sad?